Hello, I made it. I made it. It has been kind of a wild day today. And I mean, it's fitting. We had Pluto go into Aquarius yesterday. So things are already getting rocking and rolling. But I'm a little delayed with today's live for a very good reason. And I'm really excited to bring it in for all of you. Hello, Emily. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you for dropping in. I'm super, super excited about the reason why I had to push things back a little bit for the live today. I'm kind of just like sliding in here last minute, but I was very busy working on getting something all set up and together for you guys. And of course, there were a few curveballs thrown in the mix just with this astrology we have going on. So I kind of anticipated something might happen. Things were going a little too easy, but I figured it out. I figured it out. And so I'm super excited to tell you all that I have now officially opened up the Kapha Reset course on Cobra's Medicine Bag for all of you. It is free. It is free to the public. It is free to one and all. You do not need to be taking part in this live series with me to do this, although it really will be to your benefit if you are, because now that the course is open, starting next week, these lives will be bringing in the information that's in alignment with the course. So I just wanted to drop in with you all today to sort of go over that, what that's about, how you can access how you can access the court, how you can access the course, how you can access the course. Hello, Nancy. Welcome. I'm really excited. I'm launching the free Kappa Reset course to the public today. And this has been part of a dream for me. It's a vision I've been building over a long period of time. So maybe I should just kind of like begin with my initial inspiration, what that's all about, and what I'm even talking about for those of you that are just catching the live for the first time. Okay, so I originally started on my journey as an Ayurvedic practitioner, and I wanted to bring course creation forward that had all of this wonderful Ayurvedic information that was passed on to me by my lovely teacher, Deanna Batdorf, who I worked under at the Deanna Center for many years. Okay, first started in with her, I think back in 2012, I want to say 2012. Yeah, so it's been quite a journey, and I worked alongside her in the treatment center there and with all of the other wonderful Ayurvedic practitioners that studied with me there at the Dhyana Center and that went through the program, the Ayurvedic practitioner program. It was a wonderful experience. I came to Ayurveda because I sort of stumbled across it on my own, and in my own personal healing process, Ayurveda was absolutely foundational for pulling me out of a health crisis, really, when I was in my early 20s. When I was the age of 23 is probably when I came to Ayurveda, and I really used it to nurture myself back to health. And so I was just kind of self-taught for a number of years. And then in 2000, I think it was 2012, I connected with Deanna Batdorf of the Deanna Center. And her and I really just hit it off. I felt an instant connection with her. And I went into the program there at the Deanna Center, and I studied to become an Ayurvedic practitioner. And so from there, I really started infusing this into the other work that I was doing up to that point. I have a holistic healthcare background. I'm a transformational body worker. I've worked predominantly in the realm of the medical field. I've done a lot of work with doctors alongside just providing support for their patients. I've done a lot of work with chiropractors, as well as all kinds of holistic healthcare practitioners. I've done work with acupuncturists and OMDs and qualified medical examiners. So all of my experience really has been more in the realm of transformational body work, rehabilitative work, things along these lines. I wasn't really into club rubs, okay? That's never really been my trip, okay? It's always been about really unraveling the body and doing emotional release work, trauma release work, and also physical therapy. So that's been my background up until the point that I came to Ayurveda as a practitioner. And then it just really deepened my work, not only as a body worker, and took that to a whole other level, getting into things like psoas release work, which is so powerful, and panchakarma, which is really what you all are learning right now and what you're going to take to a much deeper level with the course that I'm going to give you access to. But when we had everything go down in 2020, everything shut down. One of the unfortunate things about that was the Dhyana Center in its former incarnation. It's now become Dhyana Essentials. And I do just want to pass on some love to Dhyana because she is my teacher. Dhyana is my teacher, and she passed on this knowledge to me. So you can find her and what she's doing now at DhyanaEssentials.com. Okay. But I was just really in a place where I all of a sudden had to think on my feet, like, what am I going to do? My stability has been completely rocked. I no longer have my career. I can't meet with people. I can't do body work with people. And so it really uh, sent me into a whole new direction. I had to really think outside of the box. I had to get really creative with the direction I was going to head in. And so I had already been kind of considering doing some work online in Ayurveda at that point. I wasn't really sure at the time what that looked like, but I opened up to the experience, and then it led me in this direction of creating courses. And I have quite a few courses that I created, but there are courses that I've now decided I want to open up just as a free seva, just sort of paying it forward, passing it along to the public so you all can have what you need for your preventive health care. And you can work on that level, mind, body, spirit integration, and really learn by tapping the roots of Ayurveda. I do want to just state very clearly that when you access this course, I want you to always refer to your healthcare practitioner, refer to your medical care provider, especially if you're on any kind of treatment plan, if you're already on any kind of medications, all of these things, all right? It's your responsibility to pursue guidance in that arena as to if certain indications, certain recommendations are in alignment with your current medical treatment plan. Okay. I'm just providing the information, and it's up to you how it's utilized, right? You do have to refer to your own healthcare team as you integrate this. That being said, everything is very laid out for you. It goes over a period of 6 weeks, this course, all right? Yeah, okay, Giuseppe, let me tell you, you gotta be on point tonight, okay? There can't be any funny stuff. You're welcome to be here, but I am gonna shut it down if you take it into the space of trolling. You know, we've had this experience before, we've tangled before, Giuseppe. And you are welcome to be here, and I want you to be here, all right? But I will have to just shut it down. I will ban, all right? I'm just letting you know. This space is a space, what we're doing right now is for healing. This is not tarot fun time, all right? We're focusing on different stuff here. So you're welcome to be here, but if you start in with me, I'm just not even gonna go there. Just letting you know ahead of time, all right? No ban as long as you behave. All right, so basically, this course goes over a period of 6 weeks, and you're meant to follow it through 1 week at a time in sequential order, okay? Each week is a building block to the full scope of the process of cleansing mind, body, and spirit, which is what we're focusing on with this Kapha course, okay? So it's available now. It's absolutely free. You do not need to register on the site or anything. You will go to cobrasmedicinebag.com BroadCoven.com. And right there on the home page, you're going to see on the side that green butterfly that's the cover photo for this live that we're doing today. And you will see there's a little button there that says free access, and a little write up about the course. You just hit that button, it'll take you directly to the course. It's all laid out for you, each week's topic. You'll click on the first one, which is Nourish, and that's going to go into the foundation of Ayurveda, which is all about, yeah. Hold on one moment. Yeah, I just can't deal with it tonight. Sometimes they test you with these lives. That's the bummer about a live. This is why I don't do lives all the time, because you get people like this coming on, starting this stuff. I'm going to ban anybody who goes there. So just know I'm not in the mood to deal with that. We're not engaged in like joking around, playing around space right now. I'm trying to put forward my offering and get you all set up for that. So, and it took a lot for me to get here tonight, because there was a lot I had to rework with the course to make it accessible. So you will go to that home page at cobrasmedicinebag.com. And I will also put up a link in the community post, okay? So you can easily access it, know where to find it. Right there on the homepage of the website, you will see that green butterfly that is the cover photo for what we got going on for this live, okay? And it will say right there, Kapha Reset, 6 weeks from oh no to Ojas, okay? And that's what we're really going to do over these 6 weeks that we're working with this course. We're going to be really increasing the Ojas, building the Ojas in the body. What is Ojas? Ojas is the nectar of life. It's that thing that gives you a sense of vitality. It's what gives your skin radiance. It's what gives your hair that lustrous sheen. It's what gives you energy and vitality and makes you feel alive. And I'm so excited for you to really tap into that source of fulfillment and really get to this place where you feel empowered in your personal health care, mind, body, and spirit. This is a very transformational process. The course is outlined as a self-care panchakarma, okay? So I'm taking you through a process of panchakarma with this course. This course is outlined in such a way that it recreates the panchakarma experience in your home. All right. So each step is laid out very specifically. Please do not skip ahead. Please do not be in this mindset where you're like, oh, the faster I do it, the better. Absolutely not. All right. Each step is outlined specifically to support you in this process of building this Ojas in your body, building this vitality in your body, getting all your systems clear. Panchakarma means 5 actions. 5 actions of purification. And we cover these 5 actions of purification in the course, and it's all outlined for you. And I really wanted to push to get this out to you guys today, because the reality is we've been working on this sort of introductory week. And the first lesson in the course is Nourish. And this will give you an opportunity to tap into that first lesson, week 1's lesson, over this weekend. It won't take a long time to read it. There's so much guidance there for you in just how to begin to heal your relationship with food, begin to understand what is this Ayurvedic intuitive eating that I've created. I am an intuitive eating counselor. I was trained by Evelyn Triboli and Elise Resch. They are the authors and founders of this groundbreaking approach, intuitive eating. They have out a nationally best-selling book, and it's been a standard for years. I learned so much from them, and I infused what I learned from them in my work as an intuitive eating counselor with Ayurveda, because really Ayurvedic philosophy around eating is about intuitive eating. But it also brings in a little bit more awareness about really caring for your body on a deeper level. So it bridges some of the gaps that people sometimes complain about with intuitive eating, where they think it's just kind of a free for all. Yeah, okay. And we got to take this one down too. Okay. Where it's kind of a free for all. I'm having to clear out some trolls. All right. This happens on lives. This is why a lot of people don't like to do lives, because it's just distractionary energy. And that's the way you deal with distractionary energy. And isn't it funny? We were talking about this running your own energy just yesterday. So it's like sometimes people get, veered off course by things like that. It's important that you don't engage with energy like that, and then it doesn't have an opportunity to insert itself, right? So I don't even bother with that here at BroadCoven. I just block. So yes, you're going to want to go through week by week, starting with the Nourish Today. It's going to introduce you to Ayurvedic intuitive eating. It's going to introduce you to what that's all about, what it looks like. You'll get a chance to kind of explore this and get familiar with it over the weekend. And this will be a wonderful thing for you, just to start to get acquainted with Ayurvedic intuitive eating. And it does address some of the things that come up around intuitive eating when it comes up in topics of conversation. I think a lot of people have a misconception about intuitive eating. They think intuitive eating is just like a free for all with no regard for health. Absolutely not. Intuitive eating is actually about really forming a deep connection with your body, where you can really tune in to your body's needs, your body's communication, and really getting connected with the experience of food as nourishment and what it really means to be nourished by food. It's not just the quality of the food on your plate, it's the whole experience. It's eating consciously, and all of these details are outlined for you. So I'm also really excited about this, because it's going to help everybody get more in touch with eating according to internal directive, right? We're doing all this focus on bringing the energy within us instead of without, right? So this is helpful, because you're going to learn to eat instead by your own inner guidance, your own intuitive awareness, your own getting in touch with your physical body and how it's communicating with you. And you're going to learn which foods are your prana foods, which foods fill you with vitality, which foods make you feel your best. And that's different for everybody. It doesn't look the same. You got no chance. I already told you. Look at this. Can you believe this? Boundaries. It's kind of an example of what we were bringing up the other day. Boundaries, all right? And everything happens in a reason, for a reason, and lives are always unexpected. So, I think this brings in a vital point of what we were talking about the other day. Stay in your own energy, putting down your boundaries. And when you put down a boundary, when you've set something, you got to be firm with it, all right? Because that's what happens. That's what happens. You tell somebody no, you say, this is my boundary, and they will continually try to push it. And you have to stay solid in your no. So, no. And dear Giuseppe, I have interaction with Giuseppe in the past. Dear Giuseppe, we already established the guidelines, and you chose to act out of pocket. So I don't care how many different profiles you use. I'm going to block each one. So just don't waste your time. And please don't waste mine. So this piece is going to be very helpful for you all. Just getting in touch with intuitive eating, getting in touch with eating in a different way, looking at, yeah, it's okay, Emily, it happens. This happens on lives. It happens on YouTube all the time. This is why people on YouTube shut down their comments. Okay, you might find that on some readers' channels. They shut down their comments. This is why. They don't want to deal with this BS, and I'm not going to deal with it. So I just ban. I'm not going to get into an interaction with it, and let's not give it any more airtime. You can't see it because I blocked it. You can't see it because I've blocked it. Okay, it's showing up on my comments end here. Okay, but I'm blocking it as it's coming in. So let's bring the focus back. It's going to bring you really in touch with your body. Okay, it's going to give you an opportunity to learn about nourishment, on a whole other level. All right. Most people are used to eating according to external guidelines, right? You know, most of the time people, eat because, well, it's time to eat, or they put themselves on some kind of regimented program where they eat so many times a day at a specific point in time, or they eat a certain food because it's supposed to be good for them. And then they never question how it's really affecting their body, how it's affecting their vitality. This is going to help you unravel all of that kind of diet culture stuff without it having this sort of free for all focus. Because a lot of times with the process of intuitive eating, what happens is all restrictions are lifted. All right. Everything is on the menu. And this is still the case with Ayurveda too. And I want to make this very clear about Ayurveda. And I touched on this a little bit the last time we did a 40-day Own Your Fire Panchakarma here at BroadCoven. And that playlist is here too if you want to like look at that, check that out, get a feel for it. The thing is that with this process, Ayurveda is also, eat whatever you want. There's no rules, there's no yeses, there's no nos. But in the West, we are so steeped in diet culture that we have made it about that. And we've made it about that. You know what I'm going to do, y'all? I keep having them pop up, so I'm sorry, but I'm going to just tune off the comments so I can stay on track with you all. So I'm not distracted. Okay. And then I'll just block all their comments after I'm done. I'll check in with you guys to see what comments or questions you have, because I don't want to have the conversation distracted by these people. So in Ayurveda, all foods are on the menu too. But in the West, we're so steeped in this diet culture mentality that we've turned Ayurveda into a diet. And Ayurveda is not about lists of yes foods and no foods and all this like rigid structure, restriction. It's not about that at all. It's really about getting in touch with your body. And also, there are certain health guidelines that come in right off the bat. And the best way to nourish yourself, the best way to support your nutrition, and when are the best times to eat according to the circadian rhythm and the function of the digestive organs. So we go over all of this, and all of this is covered in the course. And it's a really beautiful thing. So I'm so excited for you to start to relate to food in a different way and start to nourish yourself according to how you're feeling internally, as opposed to what's happening, externally, or what kind of guidance some fitness guru gives you, or, anything along those lines. Because the reality is, what's good for one person is not good for another. One person can follow a particular, diet, and it really works well for them. They feel awesome. They have great energy. They're functioning at their best. And then another person will do the same thing, and it's just awful for them. Okay. I always like to bring in this example of wheatgrass. Okay. Wheatgrass. I, I have people for so long tell me you need to do wheatgrass shots. Like, it's so good for you. It's going to make you feel so wonderful. And yet I went and tried it once, and I had nothing but horrible indigestion. I was burping. I felt sick to my stomach. It didn't make me feel good at all. And I, told somebody that. I said, oh, I would try the wheatgrass thing. It didn't work for me. I'm not feeling so hot. I don't see why everybody thinks this is the answer to health, that this is some holy grail of health. And so I went ahead and went back and tried it again, because they encouraged me. Oh, you probably just didn't get it from the right place. It wasn't the right quality. Here, check out this place. You're going to love it. It's going to feel so good. So I went ahead and I went back to this other place, and I tried the wheatgrass, and same reaction. So that's just an example. Okay. And we see it all the time around food. We hear it, in media, we hear it on social media, the latest diets, everybody's always talking about how they're eating, what's the right way to eat. Everybody feels very polarized as far as, their position on that, what they think is healthy. And the reality is it's different for everybody. It's unique to you. And so this first lesson that you can explore in the course over this weekend, because starting next week, we're going to just dive right into lesson number 2. Okay. Because lesson number 2 is the cleanse. And we've already been going for a week. And normally the first week of the course, Nourish, is really just about giving a foundation. So you're prepared. It's like an introduction to the energy. And it also gives some feedback about things you can do to start to set yourself up for success for the second week's lesson, which is when we dive into the cleanse, which is what we'll be doing starting next Tuesday. Okay, so I'm giving you a few days to work with, and that's why I was a little behind coming on today. I had to get it set up. I had to change some settings. I had to go in the back end. I had to do some computer work, all that tech stuff. And I had to figure it out, and I got it all figured out. So it's unlocked. It's ready to go. Please share it. Please pass it on. If you think you know somebody who's dealing with some kind of health challenges, or maybe somebody who doesn't have access to any kind of health care, or just somebody you love that you think could benefit from it, please pass it on to them. Pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, and also encourage them to come over here and subscribe, because we're going to be traveling through the lessons in real time here on BroadCoven with these lives Tuesday through Saturday, week by week. And it's going to be a wonderful support for you all. And the lives moving forward from here will have specific days set up starting next week that will be like Q&A about the course and the material, because you're going to have a lot of questions as this comes in. I'm just going to kind of come over here to the comments now. You are most welcome, Emily. Yeah, it's great to do it at home because it is part of your everyday life. And that's what Ayurveda is about. It's about, um, you know, moving through this experience, you know, on your terms, in your own way, and integrating the lessons in a way that feels right for you. And I go over this in the course too. So everything is very guided. I've thought about all of the details, and I think that you'll find it really helpful. It'll be really beneficial for you. And I like to call it Panchakarma life. You know, I tend to like to have a focus with each Panchakarma, much like we're doing, right now. We're setting a vision for our goal, where we would like to be at the end of this 40-day journey. And this is just another piece of it. Okay. This is rooting it in the physical, doing the physical cleansing. This is going to change a lot for you energetically as well. Oh, Nancy, it's my pleasure. I've dreamed of being able to do this. I always wanted to be able to do this, but I didn't know how I could be able to do this, because when I first started these courses, it was my survival, it was my bread and butter. But I've gone through a big reinvention with my career, and I'm now being called in this direction, and to pour my energy into BroadCoven and Cobra's medicine bag, the site I originally started with. It's getting revamped. It's going in a different direction. And what that direction is, I cannot totally tell you right now, because I'm in a process of exploration with it. But the first thing I decided to do was to open up that dosha discovery series of courses, one at a time, as they open up with each season. So we're in the current season of Kapha. And so this is the course that is open and available to you all now. So again, you'll just go to cobrasmedicinebag.com. Hi, this channel was in my recommendations. Might I ask what the topic is? Oh, well, what the topic is that I normally do readings here, okay, but we're going through a journey over the next 40 days. We're already a few days in. This is day 4, where we're going through a sort of cleanse, mind, body, spirit. And there's a lot of spiritual focus to it. There's a lot of work we're going to be doing to expand the consciousness, work with our chakras, align our energy, set our vision. And I'm kind of talking about a course that I have opened up that will help to facilitate this process. It's on my Cobra's Medicine Bag site. It's an Ayurvedic course, and it'll be really helpful for you all, just in moving forward with the process. We're starting the actual physical cleanse next week. So I'm touching base with that tonight just to let you all know about that. And this is just sort of a drop in for this tonight and to answer some questions about how things are going to play out in the process and help people, get started with all of that. So this is just a drop in. We're doing lives Tuesdays through Saturdays to just drop in on this material, how to clear out the energy, how to move forward. And yeah, it's a really good thing. And I'm glad. I'm glad you're going to, I'm glad you're going to hang around. It'll be a very beneficial thing. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and come back here. I'm not looking at the comments for a while with this because I've just been getting too much distraction from it. And I have to tell you, with these lives, I may do pre-records on some of them if it continues to be an issue because I don't want to be distracted from what I'm trying to bring forward here. And I notice, it's really interesting on my end. What's going on is I made these announcements on social media, right? And on my end, I got on now, everybody's messaging me. Everybody's trying to get in touch with me. This stuff happens. You try to bring some energy forward, and a lot of times you'll get distractionary energy coming in, which is not something I want to put up with. So we'll see how it goes. All right. We'll see how it goes. I may just go live and not look at comments until certain key points when I can answer questions. Right. So I really wanted to bring that in for you all today. That was my big announcement. Sorry that some people are really immature and want to disrupt what is actually a really positive thing for people to have access to a free source of healthcare. So, that's on those people. Okay. So that's coming up. All right. Coming up next week, we're going to go into the cleanse. So I encourage you when you get off this live today to go ahead and head on over to cobrasmedicinebag.com, go to that home page, and you will see that green butterfly there with the Kapha Reset course, and it'll say free access. Go ahead and click it, and it'll take you right to the course. And just go 1 week at a time, okay? Please don't read in advance. Just read this first week's lesson over the weekend. It'll give you some things to focus on. There's always a focus at the end of each lesson that kind of guides you in certain steps you can take to move forward with the material that was presented, how you can root it in your life. There's like homework, you could say, all right? And so this will give you a chance to drop in, get familiarized, and it will also give you some tips for how you can get prepared next week for the cleanse. So everything will be laid out there. If you have any questions about the material, you'll want to bring them in on the lives, or if you catch the replay, you'll bring it in on the replay. I'll be happy to address all of those questions for you all. And it'll be a way for you all to build community too. And for those of you that have been showing up and participating and bringing your voices in, I really do appreciate it. It's such a support for the channel. It's also a support for getting this out there. And it's so important that people have access to tools that they can use in their own lives for their own healing and moving forward in an empowering way. All right, let me see here. See if anything was brought in here. All right. Yeah, I had a feeling. Okay. This is what I'm saying. All right. This is what I'm saying. Here we go. Oh, goodness. All right. So, I might have to figure out if there's a way that I can disable comments on some of the lives and then only enable them at some time. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of this energy out there in the collective right now. And it's funny that we've been talking about this. This is what we've been bringing in the past few days, right? People trying to insert themselves into your energy, people trying to sway you off your course, right? So you just have to really hold firm boundary lines right now, really work on holding the energetic boundaries around you, because you're going to have this kind of energy coming at you as you start to work on yourself, as you start to heal, as you start to realize what doesn't serve you, what's holding you back in life. You're going to encounter this kind of stuff. You're going to encounter people who just want to try to distract you from moving forward. And maybe it's because they have things that they need to focus on in their own lives, ways that they need to heal, ways that they need to kind of put themselves in check, ways that they need to look at their shadow stuff and integrate that. And it's easier for them to kind of try to pull you down to where they are than for them to do the work to level up. So as you're setting your boundaries around yourself and as you're exercising them in the world, just, make sure you're really staying in your energy and being true to that, being true to the boundaries that you have put down. All right. It's so, so important. So I am going to post it on the community for you all, just so you can access the course and you have all that information. But I am really looking forward to moving through that with all of you. I'm excited to move through the course material with all of you. I'm excited for all of you to see it, because I put a lot of work in it, and I feel really, really good about what I put together. It's a very comprehensive course. It has a lot of value, and it will serve you for a lifetime. All right. So this is the course that you would want to work with during the springtime. Kapha is when we cleanse. Kapha is the dosha that rules over the season of spring. So this is the time when we're kind of clearing out all the heaviness, all that ama from the winter season. We're coming back to life again. We're kind of lightening up the diet a bit, and we transition in harmony with that flow into spring, with the way we're nourishing ourselves and the way we're caring for ourselves. So Ayurveda is very much about being connected to nature, being connected to the flow of life. We are a reflection of that. Macrocosm is reflected in microcosm. So this is about really getting in touch with that. They're just relentless. They're just relentless. Okay, so what I wanted to do tonight, I wanted to make that announcement. And I'm sorry that it got disrupted for all of you. So I will put up a community post so it's easier for you to access it. But I wanted to do a little bibliomancy with the White Light Oracle to just give you a meditation. And I think it's really good to move into this meditative space right now so we can kind of ground out the energy, and we can come into our own energy. And this White Light Oracle is a beautiful deck. I'll show you the deck. It's by Alana Fairchild. I've worked with it before. I'll let you have a look at it. This is what the back of the deck looks like. You see the wolf here. Pathfinder. That's what we're all doing collectively. We're finding a path through this time of transition, just as the energy is starting to get moving. We're sniffing out the scent of the trail, trying to figure out what our next steps should be. So this is really a wonderful time to be working with this deck, bringing this energy in. And I just had to turn over the top card, and we got the Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow. So it's very interesting. It reminds me of the native Indian prophecy of the white raven. There's similarities between crow medicine and raven medicine. It's very much about karmic law, and there's this prophecy of the time of the white raven returning. And this will be a time when we focus more collectively on this unity point, on coming to a place of peace and looking at our commonalities, looking at the ways that we are more alike than we are different, and letting this be a unifying point. And it talks about this being the way that we bring the world back into a state of balance. And there's certain people that will feel the call to sort of lead that charge and move forward into this point of unity. And I just love that that was the top card there, because that is what we're kind of focusing on here at BroadCoven, and also what we're focusing on as we journey through these next 40 days. We're looking at the unity point, what brings us together. And we're beginning first by coming to that place of unity within ourselves so we can come forward with that in our earth walk and how we share our presence with the world. So I'm not doing a reading today. I just wanted to do the meditation. Okay. Each card in this book has sort of a description of the card, what the card is about. Sometimes it also includes a hertz frequency that you can work with that can bring some kind of, healing that is in relation to the card's message. But they also have a healing process, which is like a meditation that can really anchor the message that's coming through the card. So I wanted to do a little bibliomancy with you all so I can lead you through just a nice, sweet meditation. It's not going to be lengthy, but it's going to give you an opportunity to just drop in, receive, enjoy it, and let this also carry you forward through the weekend as you prepare to get ready to cleanse next week and you start accessing that information in the course. And I just thought it would be a nice way to get into the flow, and start to move into the weekend as you open up this chapter of our experience together, right? So let's just see here. What does the collective need to know? What healing process is needed for the collective as we prepare to do this purification work and journey towards our alignment and the activation of our visions? What space do we need to hold this weekend as we do this work? What healing process does the collective need at this time? We got Lasya of Parvati. Let me see if I can find the card so I can show you, because the artwork is so beautiful. It's such beautiful artwork. Let's see. Lasya Parvati. Every card is just a work of art, and she is an artist. She does beautiful paintings, and I love that she turned her art into a deck. It's really exquisite. This is definitely a deck for those of you who like to go way out there. It's more of like a consciousness expanding deck. I mean, all decks can be used that way, but this particular deck has a very spiritual focus. It's not really about looking at the day-to-day stuff in life. It's more about looking at what's coming up for you on your spiritual path, where growth is needed, where energy alignment is needed, things along these lines. So I tend to like to work with this deck when we're doing a Panchakarma process like this. There's also another deck of hers that I have that's the Kali Oracle, and I like to work with that one as well, because it focuses a bit more on the fierce side of purification, the straightening by fire, that cleansing work of diving into the shadow and then sort of like, clearing the energy out and grounding it out after you've done that deep dive. So I like to work with both these decks. And of course, she's hiding. Where is she? Where are you, Lasya? Number 32. It's number 32, so that's interesting. 32 tells me something. 32 breaks down to 5 in numerology. 32 is all about change, okay? But it's also about this change is necessary. The changes that we're going through right now collectively together, though some of them may feel disruptive, they're actually leading us to a place of coming into alignment, which is a really good thing. Though it doesn't always feel like it, right? When the disruption comes, it kind of we don't view it as a good thing. But I think there's a need for us with everything that's coming in, especially with Pluto and Aquarius, which it's going to be a time for moving into expansion, but sometimes that expansion is going to be disruptive for us. Sometimes it's going to be disruptive on a collective level, and sometimes it's going to be disruptive for us on more of a personal level. Our own lives are going to get rocking and rolling. This is really interesting because I opened to this card in the book, and yet I'm not seeing the card in the deck. How wild is that? Talk about here it is. Okay. I was like, what is going on here? All right. But when we're looking at numerology, okay, we got the 35 here. It's at 35, the 32, which comes down to 5 in numerology because you always reduce the numbers to arrive at like the root vibration. And 5 is all about change. 5 is all about dramatic change. You know, sometimes it's change that feels a little unsettling. Okay. And I think a lot of the collective is feeling that. A lot of the collective has, you know, just been dealing with so much that's out of the ordinary because of what's been going on the past few years. But now we're in a place where it's like, okay, like we're getting back out into the flow of life again. And even that is a little unusual and things feel very changeable. And during this time that we had so much upheaval collectively over the past few years, a lot's also changed for us in our own personal lives. And it's got us looking at what has meaning for us. How do I want to move forward now? What do I want to invest in now? So a lot of us are just kind of getting our sea legs at this time. And that goes doubly because we have that Saturn and Pisces energy, right? So it's like our usual foundation, our usual structure, our usual way, our formulaic way of doing things is sort of being challenged to enter a new kind of flow. And so we're all kind of getting used to this. And that can feel a little destabilizing. There's also a lot of new energy coming in. We're dealing with a brand new cycle, collectively and individually. Okay. So there's going to be some changes coming in. But whatever changes you're dealing with in your life right now, despite how they may feel destabilizing at times, despite how they may feel disruptive, the reality is these changes are happening as a benefit for you. And so the more that you can kind of clue into this, you know, this frequency when you're going through changes that might have you feeling a little wobbly, like a little uncertain. You know, the unknown tends to make a lot of people nervous, right? We like to think we have control over things, but the reality is we never have control, right? Everything is always happening spontaneously. Life is an organic experience. So we don't always get to call the shots, okay? But we do get to choose how we move through an experience. So this is about opening yourself up to the perspective that, okay, yeah, I feel this. This change is a little disruptive. I don't really know what's going to happen. Maybe I feel a little bit nervous about that. All right. But I know that whatever is opening up now, it's for the best. It's for the best. It's something that takes me to a whole new level of experience, something that I wasn't ready to experience before, but I am now. And so maybe it feels a little bit kind of tentative, right? As you're walking away from your old life and your old circle and your old activities, the things that you used to do, the people you used to hang out with, the things you used to give your time and energy to. And it does feel a little bit shaky at first, but just try to flow with this energy of really opening up to the possibility, you know, and tap into more of the enthusiasm and the excitement that, okay, this change is happening because something new is coming in. And it's something that is allowing me to move into greater potential in my life. All right. With Parvati is one of the aspects of Shakti. Okay. So that's all about the creative force, you know, really bringing about creation, which we've been talking about, that birthing our visions. Hi, Ken. Good to see you. Yeah, I am on. It's been interesting around here. It's been interesting. It's been sort of like, it's been a little wild getting here. All right. Must be going on atmospherically. I don't know what's happening right now, aside that we just had Pluto go into Aquarius yesterday. So maybe that's a sign of the times, but good to see you, Ken. Um, so yeah, we're really moving into this time of creativity and we're being asked to bring our creativity forward. And we're being asked to be mindful of what we're creating. How are we directing that creative energy? And our highest ideals, our visions in alignment with the way we're using our creative force in the world. So this is really about coming into that place of your vision. You notice how, look at, she has this jewel over Ajna, the third eye chakra. Okay, this is the place where visions are hatched, and she's in a very meditative space. She's doing what we've been focusing on with the opening of this week, correct? Just really like coming more within, not looking outside of ourselves, but getting in touch with our own energy and just getting a read for the room within, right? And also getting aware of what we're wanting to create moving forward. What are we wanting our lives to look like as we enter this new cycle? Where are things not serving us that we need to shed, that we need to release? Yes, this may require some disruptive change in our lives. It's not always easy to let go, right? It's not always easy to step up to a whole new potential. We can get scared. People always talk about, the fear of failure, but really it's a fear of success in most cases, because to truly step into success, to step into the next level, it requires us to confront a lot of our fears, a lot of our insecurities. It also helps us look at some ways that we've been sabotaging ourselves, or the way, we're spending our time and our energy is acting as a distraction and keeping us from moving into that next level of experience. So this is what you're kind of being asked to do right now. You're being asked to turn within. You're being asked to look inside of yourself and really align your vision with where your heart is calling you to move forward now. So the more spaces you can create this week as we, move through the weekend and heading up to Tuesday, when we move into that place where we're going to actually start with the physical cleanse. This is really a time to get quiet and listen and get very clear about how you want to invest your energy moving forward, what needs to change, what needs to be released, gathering up your courage, gathering up your courage, um, getting boundaries around your energy so you can really stay within your energy and your focus for moving forward, and just coming into that place of inner knowing, because you truly are the authority in your life. All right. It doesn't matter what any expert tells you. It doesn't matter what any guru tells you. Gee, you are you. All the answers are inside of you. Okay. The best somebody can do is sort of like share some information with you, um, point a finger in a direction to explore. But what you get out of that is going to be highly individual. And what you do with that information as well will be unique to you. So this is really about valuing your intuition, valuing your own instincts, valuing where the energy is calling you to go now, how it's asking you to express that creative force in the world. And there's going to be so much that's coming in through that crown, that the downloads coming in, that higher wisdom coming in, whether you view that as coming in from spirit or you view it as coming in from your higher consciousness. The more that you create these spaces for listening, the more clear things will become for you, the more that you'll be aware of the next steps you need to take in your life and what changes you need to make. So I always, when I do the bibliomancy with this book, I always read just as respect to Alana Fairchild. I just read her opening description. I don't read the whole thing because it's extremely lengthy. It's interesting. Oh no, it is lengthy. Two of the pages were stuck together. Oh, thank you so much, Street Dancer, Star Tree Dancer, Emily. The thing is it's interesting. These two pages were stuck together, so I didn't see them. I was going to say, oh, maybe I can read the whole thing. She has very lengthy descriptions for each card. They like just go on and on and on. And when I do readings with this deck, I don't go by her meanings. I just do like I did just now. I just let the art speak to me. But when I'm working with the bibliomancy, I always read her opening description because I feel like it's important to bring her voice in. I want her voice to be recognized and how she was motivated in creating that art. Where was that expression coming from? So we have Lasya of Parvati. And it says, there is a gentler way to proceed and obtain the same or even greater effect. Tame the wild and frenzied workings of the mind by grounding yourself with beauty, pleasure, and grace. Violence and its negative effects shall be overcome and healed through feminine gentleness and inner spiritual strength. This oracle is a sign of great future happiness. And so I love that, right? Because it came in with the energy signature. It came in with the energy signature. That 5 energy. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, Julie. Is it Julie or is it Emily? Because there was Star Tree Dancer was on last night and they said Emily. So are you Julie or Emily? How should I refer to you? Which do you prefer? Because I had a Star Tree Dancer on yesterday who asked to be called Emily. Okay, Julie. Julie. Um, this right here. Well, they didn't spell it like that. They didn't spell it like Emily, Emilee. They spelled it with a Y. They spelled it with a Y. It was the other day. So I don't know. There might be another Star Tree Dancer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a multiple account. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. These, there's people who do this. There's people who make fake accounts. Okay, there's people who do this kind of stuff. So yesterday there was a Star Tree Dancer on, and they were going by Emily, Emily. But if you're saying you're Julie, then I'll call you Julie. Okay. So anyway, with this 5 energy, that's exactly what it was bringing in. It was bringing in this energy of understanding that any changes you're going through, any oh, you have no idea. It's been nothing but trolls since I started this tonight. It's just really unfortunate, but it's going to have an effect on how I move forward with doing these, because I don't want to deal with trolls when I'm trying to present this kind of information. And I don't really want to talk about it anymore because it's just giving it airtime. Okay. So let's move forward. Let's move forward. So with this 5 energy, it's all about moving away, from fear around these changes that are happening. It can be very easy to kind of fixate on that, the disruption of the changes required. But the reality is that these changes are happening for our highest good. They're happening because they're meant to align us with where we're supposed to go right now. And so I love that she brings this in, that there's this promise of great future happiness. So these are happy changes. And it's funny because this is about having that new perspective, that sometimes our happiness comes in a way we don't expect, right? It doesn't always look the way we think it's going to look. Sometimes it's through something that looks initially like a reversal. So if you are going through a lot of changes right now, if you are finding things challenging at this time, I definitely encourage you to try to get a different perspective and look at what is leaving your life. Is it really all it's cracked up to be? Do you really want to hold on to it? Think of the ways that the energy is holding you back. So this is a really cool energy coming in. And then when we're looking at numerology, 3s are all about mind, body, spirit, coming into that place of alignment. Okay, so these changes bring us into alignment. But beyond that, 3s are also associated with spiritual help on offer. A lot of times it can be connected to like spirit guide energy, angel energy, ascended master kind of energy. So I also see it personally as like triple goddess energy, maiden, mother, crone. So we have this spiritual support for us too, as we're opening up to these changes that, though they may initially feel like a curveball, they lead us to something much better. And they're releasing us from what was holding us back. And that two energy is all about coming into alignment, coming into a place of partnership, which is a really beautiful thing. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do this meditation now. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off the comments just for a moment. I'll check in with you on the other side of the meditation because I don't want to be distracted. And I want us all to just be able to sink in and relax and get grounded out and just shake off that energy that came in to start this out and come back into our own energy. So just taking a few nice deep breaths, inhaling all the way down to your lower belly, allowing that lower belly to expand and rise. And then just exhale, let all of the energy go, and just continue to take some nice, deep, full belly breaths, breathing all the way down to your root. And exhaling, letting all the old energy go. And continue to breathe this way as you envision right at the tip of your tailbone a red orb light. And as you continue to breathe deeply, envision from this orb of light roots growing down, descending into the floor beneath you, down through the foundation of the home, down deeper still through the top layers of soil, down through the nutrient-rich layers of the earth, down further into the adobe layers, the clay-like layers, down further still into the rocky, unctuous layers of the earth, deeper still into the cavernous layers of the earth, where there's crystal formations and the stalactites form, and the limpid pools bubble and percolate with the heat rising from the Earth's molten core. Down deeper still into the layers of Earth where it's complete darkness, where there's not a sound, and there's just this empty space of possibility. And then down deeper still until you plunge your roots into that core of the earth and just let them really get anchored into that core and drink up through those roots like sap, that molten, fiery energy of the earth center, bringing it up through your roots, all the way up through all those layers of earth that your roots traveled, up, 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 until they meet with that root chakra, Muladhara, that red glowing orb, and fill that space with this earth energy. Just continue to take a few nice, deep cleansing breaths, filling this space with this grounding energy, and anything that is congested in this space, any kind of heavy energy, anything that feels like any kind of a blockage, just allow that earth energy to cleanse it, and then carry it back down your roots to the core of the earth to be composted and returned to you as renewable energy. Just continue to stay in this space. Breathing in this grounding energy. And allow your eyes to close if you don't have them closed already. And I'm going to guide you through this healing process to help support you as we move through the remainder of our first week together. Connect consciously with your breath as you become fully present in the here and now. As you breathe in, your awareness disconnects from distractions around you. As you exhale, your awareness settles deeper within. Your awareness is like a white feather drifting down through the air. Rocking ever so slightly to one side and then the other, it finally settles upon the inner bedrock of your being. In this state of interconnection, receive the following invocation. For the spiritual benefit of all beings, I call upon Divine Mother Parvati for her blessings of spiritual grace, happiness, wisdom, and healing. May I recognize and embrace the gentlest path for effective healing and loving self-transformation. May the triple blessing of Tridevi grace my soul for the ultimate benefit to all souls. So be it. Now imagine, feel, visualize, or intend that you see a glorious goddess of white light, graceful, kind, and lovingly devoted to you, gazing upon you. From her loving gaze emerges a protective field of powerful white light, which enters your body, heart, mind, and soul, clearing and healing and blessing you from within. That light expands to softly touch, bless, heal, and illuminate all the spaces within and around you on every level, through all dimensions. Let this happen to the extent you can. Allow it to feel as euphoric or peaceful as you wish. Rest in this energy for a time. When you are ready, bring yourself back to the present moment by grounding yourself, connecting with the flow of the breath in and out, and hydrating your body. You have completed your healing process. Okay. So when you feel ready, you're already grounded. Okay, but when you feel ready, go ahead and just gently flutter your eyes open. Wiggle your fingers a little bit. Wiggle your toes a little bit. You might want to kind of like gently pat your body. Sometimes that helps when you do a little internal visioning like that, just to kind of come back into the present moment. so wild that that white feather came up, because the white feather is really a symbol for me. And it's of a vision that I had that came through a dream back at the tail end of 2009. And in the dream, there was a white feather gently floating down from the sky. And I thought that was pretty wild that it brought that up in that little healing process. And you can come back to that healing process again and again, throughout the weekend, just to allow it to do its work, give you some time to really bring that in. Oh, I love this. I love it. The white feather connection. That's so wild. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I thought it was just kind of a synchronistic moment, right? It let me know that for me is a big symbol, a big sign. It let me know that there's a lot of healing that's happening for the collective that's coming in right now. There's a lot of healing that's coming in, and a lot of letting go, a lot of release. But it brings something really beautiful on the other side. There's going to be a lot of soul connections coming in, it's a beautiful thing. I also thought it was really funny. I was talking about coming into your breath to just like get away from distractionary energy, which was so funny with how this went. And I have to say, okay, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. It's almost better not to share the lives when they're in process on Facebook, because Facebook, I've noticed whenever I have shared the actual link to a live on Facebook, when I'm about to do a live, I always get tons of trolls. I always get tons of trolls in my lives. So, in the future, I love it when things are shared, but maybe like share the lives after they've aired, because I think that the interfering energy is coming from people on Facebook. Just saying. Yeah, yeah. I thank you so much. I really do appreciate you sharing it. I want the information to get out there, because I do want people to have access to this free course and to be supported in going through this process. We need more supportive spaces where people can come and they can feel comfortable, like sharing their truth and receiving support from others and doing this kind of work. And it's unfortunate that there's a lot of people that don't want that to happen. There's a lot of people who want to interfere with this forward progression, and that's very disappointing. And it's very sad. But I never have these issues when I just share it on YouTube. It's always when it gets shared on Facebook. So now I'm guaranteed that there are people that follow me on Facebook that are the ones that are doing this trolling stuff. And you know, bless your heart. I hope you heal, man. I hope you get correct, because that's pretty sad. That's a pretty sad state of affairs to want to block something that's trying to just put positivity out into the world. So sorry that went like that tonight. All right. I'm pretty much feel like I've wrapped up everything I'm gonna bring in with tonight. I'm gonna put up a post on the community here. I'll also put up a post on Facebook for people to access the course and how they can get, their hands on that so they can start working with that material. And yeah, in the future, those of you who tune in for these lives, if you want to share a live on Facebook, please wait until after it is aired. And that way we can avoid these kind of disruptions in the future. All right. You are most welcome. Again, sorry for all the disruptions. It's just part of it. It's just part of it. And we have to get used to this collectively. Okay. Because this is what it's like when there's a desire to expand, right? When there's a desire to move forward in a new way, when there's a desire to move away from what's really been in the algorithm for so long, right? This sense of separation, this fueling division between people, drama, all this kind of like lower vibrational energy. When that's become the norm, when we collectively start to focus on turning that tide and moving in a more positive direction, you're going to have an increase in that energy that wants to hold you back in the old way. It's It's not comfortable to move into expansion, and you will be challenged as you make changes in your own life. You'll be challenged as you put down boundaries in your own life. You'll be challenged as you start saying no to people. You'll be challenged as you start to pull away from certain connections because you know that they're not supportive for where you're going and they're not meant to be part of that journey. You're going to be challenged. It's going to happen. And so this is just something to be prepared for. And I think it's just kind of funny the way that that happened because we were just talking about this the other day, just yesterday. This is what the live focused on. So now we're seeing it happen in real time. And we're also seeing the way to move through that. You just don't entertain it. You don't communicate with it. You don't continue to have a conversation about it with them. You just block it and you move forward. All right. And to those of you that did show up for the live and had to deal with that, I'm sorry that people had to come in and, bring that funk energy into the space. It's a bummer, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And we still got it in. And yeah. So just for the future, if you decide to share it on Facebook, just wait until it's aired live because then we won't have to deal with any of that mess. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you all off. I will post on the community the link to access the course. You all can dive into that. I will be back tomorrow with a live. We'll see how that goes. If there's any, I might not even announce it on Facebook at all at this point, even when I'm about to do a live, even without the link. Okay, so we'll just see how that goes and see how that influences things. And that way we can be sure the people that are showing up with the right intention in this space. Because I don't have moderators, and that's one thing that's kind of challenging right now for me, being a small channel, is that I don't have a team of people who can help navigate that. Because that's what most people deal with on YouTube when they go live. There's always trolls out there. And they think they're being funny, but they're just kind of being lame. It's just irritating and lame. So it means I have to navigate it on my own, which is a challenge for me to do. It disrupts the flow, and I'm, not wanting to bring that in. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. We'll see how it goes as we move forward with this, and that will determine maybe how I do things, and I'll have to figure that out. There might be times that I disable comments during a live until I get to the end. You can get notifications by being subscribed to BroadCoven and by hitting the notification bell, because that will give you an announcement. It will let you know when we're going live. It will also, when I do go live, I always schedule it ahead of time. So it will come up in your feed on YouTube. It will also come up on community posts. So you'll want to look at the community posts. If you go to the home page on BroadCoven, if you look at the community tab, if you hit that, it will have, the listing of what's going on. I always announce it here on YouTube, but I'm not wanting to deal with that mess from Facebook. All right. Facebook is just a cesspool of drama. And I'm not wanting to navigate that. So, this for me is going to be sort of like a learning curve. I got to figure out how that's best going to work and best going to flow. So please be patient with me while I figure that out. It may be, until I'm out of space where I have moderators that can help navigate the comments, I might just have to disable the comments until certain points in the live when I want to open it up so I can, get your questions or get your feedback. We'll just play it out, play it out by ear and figure it out together. Okay. But I'll be showing up tomorrow with a live, and look on that community tab. All right. And for those of you who are connected with me on Facebook, go ahead and, pay attention there. I'll put up the link to the course and make an announcement about it on Facebook so you can access it there too. All right. And thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate all of you. But yes, if you're wanting to go through this process, I really encourage you to subscribe to the channel, because I think I'm going to start pulling the energy away from Facebook just because of this kind of stuff. All right. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope you enjoy the course. I hope you enjoy reading through the information, and I'm really excited to travel through it with all of you. And thank you so much for showing up and spending your time with me. I'll see you tomorrow.